Hey everyone, welcome to another video review. This is the Nendoroid Doc Brown, Dr. Emmett Brown from Back to the Future. You can see him there in front of the box. We'll go ahead and put him aside real quick. And yep, it is a Back to the Future Nendo box. You got the kind of the guy in the grays and blues and the blacks all on the front there. All the 1,000 toys. Back to the Future, Doc Brown right there. 2363 is the number. And of course, what's interesting, which here is it says Doku, and then of course, yeah, in parentheses, Emmett Brown. Which is funny, just Doc Brown right there. Sculptor Control Z. Interesting. So you got all that there in the front, and something came off of it. Got, of course, on the top right there, you got a pose like that. You have a couple more poses on this side. You have poses on this side, and hey, you have some poses on the bottom here, and on the back you have some more poses, the copyrights and warnings, and it's for ages 15 and up, so it's not for children. And there you go. That's the box. Also, you have the instructions, which are in both Japanese and English, and also incredibly short because there's really not a whole lot to it. I mean, it's because, yeah, there's really not a whole lot here. There is a bit of a warning about the alternate face. I'll get into that in a little bit, but yeah. So, Doc Brown, yes, Dr. Emmett Brown. This is his 1955 version. You can see that, probably. If you're getting in close here, you can see, yep, he's got a bit of a hair. He got some wrinkles in his forehead. He's kind of had his very determined, big old smile because, just, had his big moment of realization. He's got this whole thing right here, the hair all, kind of combed back, all that stuff. Mine has a little bit of a problem right there, but it's because, well, he kind of, I'll get into that a little bit, but there's a little bit of a ding there on the hair, and I'll get into what happened there. But yeah, of course, he's got his gray coat and his shirt with a really silly pattern on it. Got a little pattern on there, a little collar and everything. Got a brown pants with black shoes, all that. And of course on the back you have, the back of the coat and the back of his hair. Nicely, a lot of detail back here on the back of the hair. But yeah, that's pretty much Doc. He's a bit different than most Nendos I have when it comes to posability, but not that different. He's got a posable head, of course. Left to right, you got up and down, and kind of get a little bit of around if you work for it. There is a shoulder swivel, though it's kind of tight. It's a little tighter than I like, but at least initially, that's a bit of, I think that was I'm a little worried about that because that might be a paint thing or something. Just get that loose. There we go. I think it was just in there a little snugger than I like. Of course, you got a bicep swivel right there. Elbow bends. You got elbow bends. You can see the pins for them and everything. You got little elbow bends right there. He's got a wrist swivel thanks to the pegging system. Down here, he does have a waist. You can see moves back and forth a little bit, left side to side a little bit. His hips are on ball joints, so you got forward and back and outward. Not a whole lot, just kind of, but you have a big old circular range right there. And the feet themselves, I believe, on ball joints. Although again, because of sculpting, not a whole lot of range. You got like a bit of forward and back and a tiny bit of side to side, and that's pretty much a lot there. And of course, the stand itself, which is usual. You got a swivel down here at the base, and you got 3 hinges. You got this, I guess, can swivel. And this is, it's a weird thing of this is a round peg, so I'm not sure why, but yeah, that means you can do that. It'll happily do so if you're not careful. You also happily do the splits on mine, I've noticed. But yeah, so that's pretty much the posability. Not, again, more than the usual Nendo to a degree, but also at the same time more limited than the usual Nendo, if that makes sense. As for accessories, beyond this, he doesn't really, again, he does much like Marty, he doesn't have a whole lot. He's got an alternate face, which has also the goggles on it. You also see the shape of the face is a bit different than the usual thing with Nendos because, well, his design. You do have, alternate neck joint just in case something goes wrong. You have the TV, 1950 style TV with everything, and little knobs and everything, big old box. The rabbit ears for the TV, just black and silver. Goes on right there. You have a couple of alternate fists, just kind of gloved fists. So, just gloved fists. And you got some paper craft stuff. Yeah, paper. If you want to know, on mine, these were tucked away inside the instructions. So there's multiple of these, and this one's a little, yeah. Yeah, you can see there's one that's static and one that's, hey, look, it's 1985 Doc Brown in front of his truck right before, things went south. But yeah, they came on a sheet. There's actually there's a second pair of them, so there's there's a pair of, each of them have two. Each picture has two. Then there's no difference in between. Yeah, they came on a big old sheet and tells you what to do with them and all that stuff. And I'll get in that in a little bit. But yeah, as for accessories, pretty straightforward. Yeah, you pull this off. This is rubbery plastic. The problem is, on mine, this was kind of loose initially. I don't know what happened. I think something happened to me. I was very loose. I fell down. I hit something and got a big old, like, ding in it. I had to well, not ding, like something scuffed it and like left a big old nasty mark in it. So I had to kind of remove it. And the only way to do it was to kind of just scuff it out. But, yeah, of course, removing this, for whatever reason, they tell you to remove the goggles. I don't know why. They tell you to remove the goggles before you swap the plates. And of course, now you got a bit of like Oni horns going on there. But yeah, they tell you to remove the goggles first, then remove the face, then put the new face on, and then put the hair on, then the goggles. And then put the goggles back on, which I believe go on like this. It's basically, if it doesn't go on one way, try the other way. They don't stay on. They'll actually kind of go on, but the light won't stay on in a certain direction. Like that one doesn't hold very well. If I flip it over, it holds a lot more securely. So I just believe that's the correct way. I think. Well, okay, now it's not secure at all. Of course, figures. Yeah, they want you to be careful with the goggles. I guess they want you to remove the goggles, then, yeah, do that. So now he's got his, the bit, where the, after the scale model goes awry with the car uniting his laundry or whatever. That part, I think, or something like that. Although he was wearing the goggles, so I don't know if it hurt. Or you're just saying Great Scott because, he found out about 121 gigawatts. Yeah, the hands are pretty straightforward, pull them off. Let's see, that's the left fist. And now he's got his gloves from the experiment or whatever, or what have you, or yeah, he's got his gloves now. And yeah, I'm just going to pull that one off just so they match, because why not? So, there you go. Come on, go in there. They're going there, nice secure. There you go. Now he's got his fists out. And as for the TV, if you don't knock the rabbit out, it's pretty straightforward. You just remove the front. It's a definitely a bit of a softer plastic, and you can put either one of these bits in here. You can put that in, and yeah, you have to do the cutout yourself, so that's a fun time. You have to cut this out, and then what you do is you just put it in there, and then you plug this back in, and make sure you orient it properly too, because it is not a perfect square. I don't think it's a perfect square, so you're gonna have to orient it properly, or else it won't line up. And then look, now, Doc is watching himself and, trying not to ask too many questions about the future, even though he knows full well what's happening. That sort of thing. He knows exactly what's about to happen, but he doesn't want to think about it because that means confronting your own mortality. And also, yeah, of course, the same thing, which is, just a different picture. I believe you could probably just store both of them in there, too. I'm going to try that. So, yeah, I'm just going to put them both in and shouldn't do anything too bad. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, you can store both of them in there so you don't have to worry about losing one. There you go. Now it's static because, Marty caught him looking at it. There you go. Pretty straightforward. That's all the accessories. That's literally everything. There's really not a whole lot. But, well, you got that. And of course, I guess you can use Marty's parts because, yeah, speaking of Marty, here he is. Here he is, Marty, Right there, you can use our Marty's hand part, have him holding the camera if you want. Do all that stuff. But, you already know how all the swapping works, So you can do all that, but there you go. There's Doc and Marty. Yeah, not a whole lot. So that's it, really. He's good for the most part. I'm not really a fan of the hairpiece. Mine came out really easily. It's also much more rubber. Wow, I cannot talk right now. Rubbery or plastic than I'm used to for Nendos, and it didn't hold very well. And unfortunately, mine has a little bit of a scuff on it now, but it's not too noticeable. Yeah, it looks good. It's got good posability. There's not really a whole lot of accessories, but also it was fairly cheap. I think cheaper than again, it's sub $50. So, if you like Back to the Future a lot, not a bad pairing here. I no doubt I suspect they're going to do more of these. I don't know. Wouldn't surprise me if we get like the, radiation suit versions and, Back to the Future 2 Future and so on and so forth. it wouldn't surprise me if we get multiples, and they'll probably go ahead and get them all. I also wish they'll do some sort of Nendoroid thing. I'd love that too. But regardless, it's a decent figure. It's a good figure. It doesn't have a whole lot of accessories. The most annoying part is simply having to, do the cutting out, which you can see the lines here. It can be a bit of a pain, particularly if you don't have, real careful hands. It can be difficult to do, so just be, careful with it. But you do have 2 sets, so you can try again if you mess up the first time. So, yeah, as a whole, it's good, but yeah, very limited accessories, just like Marty. Probably get more accessories down the line with if there's more iterations. We'll see how this goes. Because I know Back to the Future is pretty popular in Japan, so we'll see how well these sell, I guess. If they sell well, we'll probably get more. So, yeah. I recommend it for any Back to the Future fan, but a big Back to the Future fan, but, otherwise you might be able to safely skip it if you're not that into Back to the Future, because, nobody's perfect. So anyway, that's it for this review. I hope you found it informative and entertaining. Hope you like, comment, subscribe. Check out my social media down in the description and at the end of the video. Check out my coffee and my Patreon. And I shall see you next time with another video review.